Good morning, everyone, and as the title would suggest, I found myself in the streets of Tokyo, something that I've wanted to do for a very, very long time. So here's a collection of thoughts, images, and experiences from this trip. Tip number one when you're doing street photography in Tokyo is get to know the transit system. If you're comfortable traveling with the transit system, it'll be cost effective and you'll explore more and be able to capture more interesting images and a diverse set of images like this one here where people are walking by and just ignoring the man passed out from a late night over here on the left side here. One of the challenges also is isolating your subject, cutting extra people, extra signage or marketing out of the image. It is a bit tricky. It requires a little bit more intention with your shots, but you get rewarded for it if you can nail it, like that one over there. Another thing I should say is that you can use this overcrowdedness to your advantage sometimes as well. Case in point, in the transit system, really, really busy, really, really packed, but I saw this interesting scene, I guess you could call it. Everyone on their phone, no one's making eye contact, a very familiar scene in Tokyo. I just found to be kind of fun. There's also this shot here, a little bit busier than I would have liked, but this idea of motion and the carefree in this person's face, I found it to be kind of interesting. Again, it comes back to what you enjoy, and I'll tell you right now, if you enjoy street photography, there's enough to enjoy in a city like this. And if I can leave you with one piece of advice, if you're coming to Tokyo as an outsider for street photography, challenge yourself, step out of your comfort zone, be a little bit more bold, try to get a more intimate shot, respect your environment. Yes, of course, that goes without saying, but see if you can capture something really, really unique that you can't fake or recreate, especially in your home city. It took me a couple of days to get to this level, but when I was able to let go, I found myself smiling at these pictures a lot more. So with that out of the way, let me pass it over to our guest of honor. So if we're doing street photography in a different country, it's only fair that I make an effort to meet someone that actually is an avid street photographer in said country. So we're here in Tokyo and I'm with Ulysses. Hi there. What's going on? That was the most awkward transition I could do for you, right? Sorry.
Don't worry, yeah, no, I'm an awkward person.
No, that was me. So
cool.
I forgot your last name for a second. Ulysses Aoki.
Aoki, yeah, like Steve.
Like Steve.
Yeah.
Like Steve Aoki.
Yeah.
Street photographer, model as well.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Consultant by day, street photographer by night.
The weirdest combination ever.
Which makes for a great story. So he's gonna show us around. He's gonna take some pictures. We're gonna talk about your sort of origin story, how you got into it, tips and tricks, your gear as well, why you chose the gear. And we're just gonna have some fun with this.
Cool.
Awesome. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Now, one of the things I noticed coming to Tokyo is that today seems a little bit different, but it's also after a Saturday night.
Yeah.
This is one of the cleanest cities I have ever seen in my entire life. But that being said, this is after Saturday night.
Yeah.
Okay. This is rare.
Okay. No, you're right.
It's so freaky to me, and I think do you think the sort of city planning, the sort of that kind of stuff aids to the street photography element because it is so clean, because so often a lot of these streets there's not a lot of this like artifacts or like garbage lying around, that it adds to the aesthetic of street photography in Tokyo?
Interesting. I might need to think about it.
Yeah, you might have to revisit that because like one of the things I notice is that when I go to New York or even like Toronto where I'm from, is that a lot of these places that you'd want to shoot something, there's garbage around. And sometimes it's okay, but a lot of times it does distract from the image. Like you want to always reduce. In most cases, not all cases.
Yeah.
And then when I'm traveling around like certain streets here, this is definitely a bad example to ask this question with all the garbage here. But a lot of these streets are just super clean and there's not even garbage cans. So how long have you been, shooting in the streets, like taking it more seriously?
I would say, like in terms of taking it more seriously, I would say like only like 2 years actually.
2 years?
Yeah.
Wow. And if you haven't seen his channel, this is stuff when people say it's only been 1 year, 2 year, I look at their channel and it's amazing work. Like congratulations to you.
Yeah.
It is remarkable to see the growth. The growth in the 2 years, right?
Oh, thanks. I guess so.
What do you attribute you know, I know you're modest, but what do you attribute your success in the last 2 years in street photography?
Japanese, I am,
Yeah.
No, I just get, yeah. Oh, it's so corny. But I would say like, yeah, like getting out.
Yeah.
Hopefully every day.
Yeah.
Taking pictures. And I think the first year and a half, I was like, I'm gonna post a photo every day on Instagram.
Right.
Not shitty photos, but a photo that I feel comfortable.
Right. That you're proud of.
Post, yeah, that to post, right?
Yeah.
I actually started using a 50 mil.
Gotcha.
So I wasn't like a Daido Moriyama kind of guy, and I wasn't like a Bruce Gilden kind of guy.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, which is interesting because living in Japan and taking photos in Japan, like a lot of people lean towards that way.
Right.
Because there's so many things like that.
Yeah.
That are very like, I would say shot happy, like in your face kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is also amazing, and I like these photos. But like, I think I just started off differently. Yeah, I started with a 50 because I liked Henri Cartier-Bresson.
Yeah.
And I liked, you know, like Elliot Erwitt.
Yeah.
And yeah, I started off with the classics, I think, and then so I was like, and I was intrigued by like the idea that photography had like more of like an art related concept to it, I guess.
Yeah.
Just, I always wanted to do design.
Yeah.
Which is a stupid sentence again. It's like, oh, I wanted to do design. Like, what kind of design? But I didn't have the capability to draw.
Yeah.
And I tried drawing, but it's terrible.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I want to do art.
Yeah.
But I don't.
You have some fans here. They're just yelling.
Yeah.
You just see there's like sightings in the street right now.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Ulysses Aoki here, model, photographer, just fans just shouting in the streets. Oh my god. Sorry, listen, no autographs today, please.
Yeah, no, so that's how I think that's how I started to take photography seriously.
Right. So how much has studying the old, you know, photographers, the photo books, like how much of that do you attribute to your success?
A lot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like everything or anything, but I would say, I mean, I have my deal of books and my deal of photographers that I love and look up to. And, and a lot of them are like have recently ended up being color photographers. And it's true. Like when I feel down, or it's like when you feel like you're not taking good enough photos, and look at the work of great photographers, and it's just like, like maybe I can try that out. And it starts building up your vocabulary, I think.
Right.
Once you consume the information, and then you try to make something happen out of that.
And almost like a reverse engineering of that.
It is, yeah. Then you have output maybe related to that or something. That like, represents that, I guess. Yeah,
like I feel like a close analogy is like, you know, you go if you love cooking and you travel the world and you eat cuisine and that taste, once you taste it, like the chef's not gonna come and give you the recipe. But you take that taste back with you and you try to get as close as you can, kind of thing. And that's where the experimentation and like the new results and your favorite food comes from, right? So
yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think I think that's a great step forward. But then like after you do that like continuously, then that's how you build your vocabulary. I think like that's the same with like music or any other, again, like cooking too. Where it's like you're practicing different ways of getting better. And then once you go out to the field, like that stays as your vocabulary. Where you have these like little pockets. Right. I guess. Where it's like you start not thinking about it.
So you were looking at almost, I mean, and I usually think in business terms because that's like my history. Like I'm very business logical, but also love exploring art and trying to meld the two. But it almost seems like you looked at the market and had a reaction to it.
I hate to say that. I wouldn't say it's like market. I feel like
it's a very bastardized term to use.
No. I understand what you mean though. To me, it was more of like maybe there is color that people are overlooking. So I wanted to try it out a bit more.
So did you see that as like an opportunity or a challenge?
It's like, more of a challenge. A
challenge, gotcha.
Like sometimes it's terrible. Like sometimes it's like
I say I don't mean it's terrible. I don't know. No,
as in like sometimes I feel like in Tokyo, like there's a reason why a lot of famous photographers from Japan use black and white, I think.
Right.
And a lot of like the now famous like street photographers in Japan or Tokyo take black and white too. It's just like the city, black and white fits a little bit more.
Right, right.
I feel.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a really big challenge and it's like, oh, how am I doing this? But yeah, sometimes it works out.
Yeah.
And then I think that means something.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad you used the word challenge because that's how I see it. And like, I love color, especially my portrait work. But when I go to the streets, it's almost like I don't want to add that variable sometimes.
Yeah, it's an added variable. And you see like here, like there's so many random colors happening and then it's very interestingly un-eye-popping.
Yeah. That's actually a great way of putting it.
You actually have to really limit what you use in the photo, I would say.
Yeah. So I started the record back again.
Okay.
There's some top secret conversation we had. That's for us afterwards. But we're talking about street photography in Japan, and you know, you had the same conversation with Samuel. I brought it up here is that it's difficult to capture emotions. Because of, you know, the way the Japanese carry themselves and that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
How do you sort of diagnose that problem?
Well, there's two ways of approaching it. One way is how do I get emotions out of people?
Yeah.
And the other way around it is how do I make photographs work without people being too emotional?
Right.
And accepting the fact that that's how the street is here. That's a lot happening.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
That's good.
There's definitely a party happening. I mean, people are begging for you to take pictures of them. People are out here begging Ulysses to take a picture of them.
Yeah, they thought I was foreign. They don't think that.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So what happens is like light changes a lot, especially according to season, according to time of day. So it's kind of like even if like you don't like shooting a place at a certain time, if you go revisit that place at a different time, it's very different actually. Like so you never have light here usually.
Like, you know, even the season that you mentioned it, but like that light hitting that place there, I don't know if this is perfect right now for someone, but there might be a time of year where that light hits a certain area just perfectly.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And then lights the subject just exactly how you want it. And that was also something that I'm like, okay, this is where it gets really nerdy.
Yeah,
I have like a Sunkeeper app and I try to like track these things.
Yeah.
I did not do that for this trip because it was a bit of a business trip.
Yeah.
And I regret it. I regret it because it's like one of those things where it's like if I knew I should be here at 4:30 p.m. and just wait, there's magic may happen. So you use film, and that was because of the look. The look of the people that you appreciated, that you followed, that you wanted to sort of use as, you know, inspiration.
Well, yeah, I didn't know any better, right? It's like photographers that I like were taking good photos. And I was like, they use film.
Yeah.
I want to try that.
Yeah.
But also it was kind of like, I wanted to force myself to learn photography more. So that's also why I went to film.
Right.
It's like,
almost like to learn the mechanics of it.
Exactly, yeah, I like the basics and like, it's harder because you need to know your shit.
Yeah.
So like I want to use film because I wanted to learn photography more.
Right.
Yeah. Which is a stupid idea in getting the Contax T2 because it's like basically an automated camera.
Right,
It's like
right.
Shoot, right? So I was like,
it's literally like
it doesn't really make too much sense, but yeah.
I'm trying to get good questions for the people watching this because I'm not a film photographer.
Okay.
And the absolute hilarity of all of this is that when I came to Japan, I was here with a friend of mine, and I was looking to pick up a film camera.
Yeah.
Prices are exorbitant here also for film cameras, I feel. Like in some cases double the price.
Oh yeah, it's expensive, but the quality is good. That's the problem.
Yeah. I like when they sell it to you, if they say it's new, like new, it is like new. Yeah. But let's start with this. Film stocks.
Okay.
What are your favorite film stocks? What do you mainly use?
Okay. I usually shoot Fuji Superior 400.
Superior 400. Okay.
Yeah, but times are changing.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be producing it anymore. I mean, they're not producing it anymore. They're kind of running out. Yeah. So I've been trying different stocks too.
What is that feeling like where if you've found a favorite film of yours and then all of a sudden it will cease to exist? You know what I mean? Like it's like an impending doom kind of thing.
It kind of hit me, yeah. So I've I pulled out my film camera here, but I've actually been trying to use more digital recently.
Yeah.
To see how it goes, and then to see if I'm a person that's relying on film for some purposes,
Right.
or a person that can be more versatile, I think.
Right.
So I'm testing new things out.
Yeah.
And I'm trying different film stocks at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do also shoot like Portra, Ultramax, the Kodak stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I learned a lot of what Fuji films can do.
Yeah.
Because I scan myself too, so it's kind of like I need to know like what it's capable of and
Right.
what the colors it can produce.
Right.
So I'm trying to learn that with other film stocks right now.
Gotcha.
So I'm kind of in like a new learning process
Yeah,
right now. So
yeah.
I'm using Ultramax today.
Yeah.
So I used the X-T3 and then I wanted more control, so I got a Nikon F3. But then it was really heavy, and then I was like, so I got a Contax G2.
Right.
And that's, it's a pretty good camera for street.
Yeah.
And I was shooting a lot with that. I started shooting more and more. And then I was like, this is good, it's good. It's a good camera, it's a great lens.
Yeah.
But then I gradually, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's an amazing camera.
Yeah.
But I started to feel like I was running all around the place.
Right.
And then like shooting subjects that were very interesting, and then kind of like following them around and running and then all that shit.
Yeah.
But also like I find that the viewfinder was very small.
Right.
Like it kind of also like it has a weird thing where it's like when you autofocus,
Yeah.
like the viewfinder like shifts and moves.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I was like, So I wanted like a Contax G2 kind of thing, but then I also wanted I wanted to learn to focus manually and quicker.
Right.
Because I wanted to control. This is very nerdy. I'm sorry.
No, please.
Okay.
Anyone watching this is exactly what they want.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to control what was going to be in my pre-frame and what was going to be in like mid-frame and so I wanted to control what's going to be in focus in different layers of the photo.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to like
Hold that thought, because this is such a good answer,
Okay.
and a train just decided to come by as soon as he started answering.
Okay.
So,
Sorry.
what did you want to control?
Okay, so I wanted to control so if you're taking a layered photo with like someone in the front, someone in the middle, and someone in the back, for example.
Yeah.
I wanted to, if it's autofocus, it kind of like.
Really? I don't even see you, train.
Yeah.
I don't even see you, but you're.
Yeah, okay. So like, if it's auto, then it might focus on like the middle point, but you don't have control over that. So I wanted to control like whether I'm gonna have the middle guy in focus or have the guy that's passing by.
Yeah. Like really, just have more a refined control over the depth.
Basically, more control.
Right.
Yeah. But also, you have to be able to do that. And having like a distance scale on the lens helps a lot.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I definitely wanted. And I also wanted.
And I vividly remember Samuel's video where you guys were pointing to the X100F, and you're like, if it had a distance scale right here, that would be a pretty awesome thing as well.
Yeah. No,
These are the things. When I saw that, I like go to my contacts at Fuji, and I'm like, hey, this would be a pretty cool feature for us like Fuji nerds here, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I also wanted, like a rangefinder.
Rangefinder, yeah.
Which like a G2 is kind of one, but it's kind of different.
Gotcha.
At the same time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a great question. So, which of the wards do you prefer to shoot in Tokyo?
Oh, geez. That's it. I actually don't have a preference, but I'm more of like I like going to different places.
Well, I'm going to challenge you now. I'm going to ask you, if you can only pick give me your 3 words. 3 words, gun to your head.
Okay.
You got to pick 3 wards to shoot in.
Okay. Well, yeah, like definitely Shibuya ward's good, because there's Shibuya, there's this place, Harajuku.
Okay.
And there's a couple other areas,
You can only pick 1 more though.
But there's also parks too.
Yes.
And another one is Chiyodaku. Chiyodaku is where Tokyo Station's at.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and that place is cool because you get a very different aesthetic.
Yeah.
A lot of the buildings are originally mocking European buildings and office buildings, so you have a very, very different like spectrum, where it's like in Shibuya it's more crowded, and then you have more like different, what do you call it, like there's more alleyways, and there's more people, but in Chiyoda ward you have more of like businessmen, salarymen, high rises, European buildings, glass buildings, and you have also have really interesting lighting situations because, like, there's the Emperor's Palace.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
And so, there's the Emperor's Garden where there's no buildings at all.
Yeah.
And then it's built on the west side, so you have this direct lighting coming into the office buildings.
Right.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I do actually recommend people go there.
Gotcha.
To take photos.
So, and I gotta say, like, I found you because of, you know, when I was looking at Samuel's video, he did the Tokyo vlog.
Yeah.
So it's only fair that I shout out, thank you, Samuel. Samuel Streetlife on YouTube.
Hi, Samuel L. Streetlife.
Yeah, Samuel L. Streetlife. Do you have a message from him that you want to put in this video for him?
I don't know. What do I have to say for you? I don't know.
I should be saying thank you, not you. I should be saying thank you, brother.
Thank you. This happened because of meeting you last year. I'm a terrible speaker.
See, this is what happens when it's like you're supposed to do it.